Hello everybody and welcome to this week's edition of the ITK Soccer Show. It is the 12th of August 2014 and we're coming to you a weekend after Leeds lose, Shamrock Rovers win in a very unconvincing manner, and Liverpool, without Suarez, are still free scoring and kept a clean sheet. Yes, these are the kind of results from the kind of teams, those ones in particular, you're going to be hearing a lot more of because the football is back, ladies and gentlemen. So this show becomes a lot less redundant than it once was. Yeah. So, fantastic stuff. We're gonna go over all those scores that were mentioned at the top there through the sections. Our sections this week include the usual transfer news and gossip. We're going to go over week 1 in the Championship. We're going to talk about the League of Ireland scores from the past weekend, including my first trip to a League of Ireland match. That's right, I went to Shamrock Rovers with Dan. A lot to say about that. And of course, the Premier League preview, all games kicking off this Saturday. And that's going to be fantastic. So how are you guys? How are you, Dan?
Good, yeah. One good result on Friday, one shit result, but I was kind of expecting a win and a defeat, so I'm kind of just used to it at this stage. You know?
Yeah, and how are things, John?
All good. I usually say the funny comment at the start, but Neil stole my thunder. Don't really realise why I'm here now.
Well, look, it's early days.
John's nothing to contribute to the rest of the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so I doubt that's true. Pressure's on, though. Latest transfer news. Okay, so Dan, go over the this happened today. Man City buying somebody out of the complete and utter blue. This wasn't really rumoured. So what's the crack?
It probably was rumoured, but no one knew who he was.
No, he announced it on Twitter himself there last week or something.
The old Eden Hazard trick.
And then he said he joined City, and then I think City no, you haven't yet, delete that. And then they're like, oh shit, delete. So but he's only confirmed there today, 32 million, he's centre half. But interesting though, like, he was 4th choice centre back for France at the World Cup.
Yeah.
4th. Now, to be fair, they have good centre halves, but
they've loads of good centre halves.
But to be 4th choice, and it's a reported 32 million. Now, obviously, the price is always going to be inflated for City by 10 million anyway, because
it's a lot of money though.
It's a lot of money for
Sacco, who was first choice for the France team.
Well, there was Varane and Sacco were the pair, and then Koscielny stepped in for a game then as well. I don't think Mangala even played a minute at the World Cup, did he?
Well, Porto have some talent for getting rid of players.
I saw they've sold up to 600 million since 2004.
Yeah,
players
since the Champions League winning team, they just
incredible.
Why
that'd be including. I don't know if that's including the payoffs, Mourinho and Boas. They got AVB. They got like.
Well, no, you can't include man.
Yeah, but was it like 12 million compensation they got for AVB?
Yeah,
of Chelsea.
Well, just going back to the players and Porto shipping out such like valued talent. Can other scouts from bigger teams not just look at where the Porto scouts look, rather than waiting to buy them? For
everyone does, but Porto can take more of a risk because there's not much challenge in their league. It's just them and Benfica.
Okay,
like
Real Benfica be sounding like it's like Lyon as well. Kind of around 2005, 6, 7. They had some great players they sold as well. You know, so they would be kind of another something. But obviously the French league isn't. Well, besides the two big rich clubs, but.
Is this just strengthening the squad for City, or can we see Nastasic moving on?
Nastasic should be back up, I'd say. And I'd say it'd be him.
Lescott would probably.
Lescott, he's already gone. He's gone to West Brom.
It'll be. When did he go?
Early
in the summer. I'd say it'd be Mangala and obviously Company. I'd say it'd be between those two. They needed a centre half though. To be fair,
Di Michelis has a decent end of the season and World Cup, but I suppose you can't rely on him for a full season.
There's always a mistake in him, but I think it'll be Mangala and Company. What do you think?
Probably, it makes a lot of sense.
Like, I don't know, you can't buy a defender for 30 million and have him on the bench.
Well, Boyata was playing a lot of pre-season, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to spend 32 million for a lad in the bench. So I think Mangala,
especially for Boyata to keep him out.
Yeah, I think Mangala and Company will be the way they go forward. Connor Wickham of Sunderland, West Ham bid rejected. So what's the crack?
I think they're trying to fund the Barini deal, Sunderland, by getting rid of Wickham because he seems to be being pushed out.
And
I think it's
on
ridiculous.
the Barini deal? Like,
I don't think
he still? He
wants to say that fight for the squad.
He doesn't want to go, and I don't think Liverpool want to keep themselves short just in case they don't bring anyone.
Well, the whole Remy thing, you know.
I don't think they will.
Imagine they had sold Barini, and then the Remy thing happens.
Yeah, I know.
No, Barini, he's still on the outskirts.
Liverpool are still heavily linked with Boney, 19 million.
Oh God.
We'll see what happens there. Okay, so we also had Manquillo sign for Liverpool and start the game against Borussia Dortmund, which is very interesting because one would presume that he'd be fourth on the pecking order in the current squad in terms of right backs after Johnson, Flanagan and Kelly. But he started the game, they had Johnson on the left, and he was great.
Did you see Jared screaming at him?
Why did Jared scream at him?
I don't know who was playing. It might have been Royce, but it might have been someone else. But someone going to it. And all you hear is Jared going, "Get it!" And Aguero just slides in and takes him out.
Amazing.
It was great. But
Was Royce playing?
No,
it wasn't Royce. I
Injured,
don't know. I only saw the highlights myself, as much as I missed it because it seemed to be great. But I don't know. I was surprised that I'm delighted. Podcast listeners know very well how much I disdain Glenn Johnson. So if he is our first choice right back and we're taking a risk on the young guy, I'm very happy.
Yeah, and by all accounts, he's supposed to be very good.
And you can stop a cross, which we haven't done for about 2 years now.
Monero from Sevilla
He'll play tomorrow. Won't he?
he's supposedly signed, but they haven't announced it yet because he said the condition that he'd like to play.
He wants to do the Madrid. I think that's fair.
That's great.
Him and Rakitic were their star players last year.
All I care about
just
is
give it to
him coming in. That would be great. Okay, more pre-season notes. We had the Community Shield. Arsenal just absolutely shellacked Man City. It was 3-0. And goals coming from this off the top of my head. Cazorla scored the first goal. Ramsey
and Giroud.
Not
Johan Giroud.
Yes.
Oliver.
That was a bit of an own goal, for being honest. It
looked really good when I saw it first. I saw the goals. I was in work. I didn't see it, and I was like, "Oh, what a goal!" I was like, wait a minute.
He didn't start.
Really yeah, Sonogo.
City were awful.
They went out way off the pace.
It wasn't a first string City team where it was a first string.
If you took Aguero out, and then it was a kind of a reserve back four.
But he played 4-4-2, and it was just madness. They got caught in the counter attack a lot.
Yeah, Arsenal look. We'll talk about them later, obviously, but they really seemed up for it. Did you kind of get that vibe off them? Like I saw only parts of the match and highlights and stuff, and a lot of match reports. So they were really just wanted it so much.
Likes that game though. Like he's won more than most other people, I think.
Yeah, well, maybe I said last year if they win the FA Cup, it could literally be a monkey off their back, and they go, look, we can actually play now. I know it's only a Community Shield, doesn't count for anything. Yeah, but you never know.
No, I agree. I think Wenger,
a lot of it's mental. A lot of it was mental.
But that's it. Look, the impetus that Wenger had. He said, he could say to the guys, in our last competitive game, we won a trophy. We've strengthened the squad. We believe in ourselves. Let's win a trophy in our first game too. And they
and it's the Premier League champions as well, so it's a confidence booster going into their match next week.
We have Miroslav Klose retiring from international football for Germany after breaking the all-time goal-scoring record in the World Cup this past July. So I think we'll be talking about him later in our nominations for Hero and Spoofer of the Week. You can pretty much guess which one.
Those Germans sure know how to retire. Him and Lamb just break a few records when the World Cup. I think I could just hang up my boots there.
Yeah, it's perfect time for him.
His World Cup record don't last so long.
With Muller?
Thomas Muller's already on 10, is he?
Yeah.
9, 10?
Something like that.
And he's what, 20... Is he 24? 25?
Muller is 25.
Right, so... Yeah, he's got, at least 2 more World Cups in him.
Yeah. I just like how the Irish press made this, where one of the greatest forwards of our time retires, but the headlines are
Robbie Keane.
Robbie Keane is the highest footballer
all-time scorer of currently playing. He's the highest record goal scorer at international level.
And that's retired.
And that was all of the highlight. They were talking about an RTE and the FAI spoofing it out and all. It was typical Irish guff, but fair play to Robbie though. Fair play to Robbie, but
Fox News level spin on that.
It was really
Close has scored more goals in the World Cup than anyone else, but has he got a few hat tricks against San Marino like Robbie Keane? Which he probably has actually. He's
got a great hat trick last year against the Fairies. Remember?
Yeah.
Watch it at the back there.
We're joking. Robbie Keane is actually the best player to ever play for Ireland, but
still,
he's not better than Close.
Yeah.
So what's going on with the Celtic and Warsaw gimmick?
Warsaw played a player for 4 minutes at the end of a game after both legs were over, and the player was...
it was... they were... On the second leg, they were 2-0 up at Celtic Park, so the game was over.
Yeah.
And because they won the first leg 5, and they missed 2 penalties in that match as well. So they were 5-1 up going into Celtic Park.
And one of the Warsaw players actually said Pats were a better team than Celtic.
Yeah, they said Pats were a better team. So that's what we were discussing there last week. The event team's actually better than... People said, well, Celtic couldn't get much worse than this. But he came on for 2 or 3 minutes at the end of the match, and like literally in Celtic Park, and apparently he was ineligible or something, and because you feel an ineligible player, they've had to give a default scoreline of, and 3-0 is a default scoreline or something, and
Yeah.
so instead of 5-1, oh no, it was 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
It was 4-1 over there. It was 4-1 over there. So, so technically, you know, they'll win then on the away goals, which is just incredible. It's the most ridiculous thing. If UEFA have any sense, they'll put it to a replay. Like,
And no, and the Warsaw chairman wrote like this really nice letter saying how like Celtic were like made history in the European Cup, and they're
but they won't do it because UEFA.
No, Celtic already came out and said no. It's
Yeah,
not
no, but
happening
no,
there.
UEFA won't give it to them. UEFA loves Celtic for some stupid reason. I don't know what the fascination is with them.
So Celtic were out, but because of the debacle, now they're in.
Yeah, they have to play. Who they got in the next round?
But basically, they're through to the next round.
Yeah, they've got to the next round, and they're guaranteed then a UEFA Cup spot at least. I think something now. So it's absolute ridiculous. Like Warsaw battered them home and away, and now they're because a guy comes on for 3 minutes. You know, it's completely wrong. Like they should just do even a neutral venue, or even if they want to replay it back in Celtic Park. Like Warsaw will beat them again, no problem. Like really, you'd expect it.
That is incredible. I can't wait to see what happens there. Showa Ambiobi signs for Turkish.
Yeah, go on, pronounce it. Go on. Yeah.
Turkish. Oh yeah, okay. Turkish club second division side, Gaziantep Başakşehir.
It's good effort
I have beside my notes. Why are we talking about this?
because it's Shola Amiobi.
Does he get a testimonial, or does he get 2 testimonials? Hasn't
He's
he been there for 20
He's
years?
been there for since like '99. I think he made his debut.
Yeah, it's almost 20 years.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Well,
2 testimonials.
What's his,
He's been there
what's
longer.
his,
Or maybe it's his
scoring
brother. He's a third
he
highest
scores, like,
goal scorer in Newcastle
I think he
history.
scores 1 goal every leap year or something. So
Oh, he's the third highest goal scorer in Newcastle history.
Is he actually?
Yeah.
That can't be true.
you can't be your man. He was the old lad. Shearer beat.
Oh, Premier League goal scorer. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's only like his.
It's kind of by default though. Like
Still,
if you're playing there every day, every week, and you play even 20 minutes a game.
Robbie
for
Keane is
15
the
years.
highest goal scorer in international football, still playing by default.
62
Just one
goals
player.
at international level. Well,
That's probably how many goals.
Amiobi, I think he scored
15
like.
years in
I
Premier
think there was
League.
1 year there he had like 33 games in Premier League, and he scored 2 goals.
I'm not saying he's good. I'm just saying the
Yeah.
stats don't lie.
He was
He
at the World
scored
Cup.
79 goals in 397 games.
Some people would kill for that sort of consistency.
Sort of bleep. Here we go. Fuck. Pause for editing.
Dan already cursed earlier.
No, it's not that. It's the side reference. Okay, so Vermaelen goes to Barcelona for 15 million.
Mm-hmm.
And is this official? Because you're telling me it is.
It's
but Bobby
definitely
don't think it
official.
is.
Did you look up any news today at all?
Means Daniel
I look-
Agger's
I
going to
look-
stay.
I look up news every week. That's very interesting. Brendan Rodgers came out today and said that nobody has inquired about Daniel Agger, and maybe that's he was also said to have come off
that why he was
Melwood
crying?
during the week in tears.
I think that was a made-up story.
You
But I
think
don't
that's a
know.
made up story?
I think so.
I thought it was that he was going to leave, and he was happy to leave, but he's going to miss the fans and the club. If that makes sense.
I don't know.
I kind of got
think
that
that's a-
vibe off it. If it is true,
I don't know. He has LFC tattooed on his arm. He has
Oh, yeah,
tattoo
he-
parlours and restaurants, and
Did he get that tattoo in Limerick?
he might have.
He's in
Yeah,
Limerick.
but I don't think that's true. I think
Did he wait a minute? Did he get that tattoo in Limerick?
He
Yeah,
was
when
getting
they were-
tattoos down. Remember they came over for the Rovers game.
This
They
man
they
has.
farted down to Limerick, and he got like loads of tattoos or something down there.
No, it was a while ago when he got that.
He's covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
I don't know why is it the
He,
Limerick tattoo?
he might have got a tattoo in Limerick.
He did get a tattoo. That's what I'm saying.
no,
he got
because
one.
he got the,
I'm
he got the
inquiring-
Liverpool ones when everyone thought he was off.
I'm
back after
inquiring.
Kenny.
Is it the one he got?
I don't think so. I'm not aware of when and where he got tattooed.
Well, anyway, we're supposed to be talking about another left-sided centre back, not Daniel Agger.
Yeah, is it a good signing for Barca?
If he's fit,
not even getting in the Arsenal team.
well,
How much was
it's
it?
15 million, but it's one of those. It's a good Barca defender because he can play.
I've always rated him.
But he hasn't. He's defended like shockingly bad. Maybe the last 18 months.
So it's going to
Like
be fun.
Arsenal,
Started 7 times
when
last
did
season.
Arsenal become a good team defensively? It was not last year. It was the year before. It would have been 2012-13, and I think they just lost to Spurs around. I think it was early March, and Spurs were like about 9 points ahead of them for the top four, and he dropped for Malin after that game because he was just running offside, trying to play everyone off, and he went with Koscielny and Mertesacker.
Yeah.
And Arsenal probably, they must be near enough the top of the defensive records. since then. You know,
Well,
when
no,
those two are there.
the first half of last season, they were absolutely the tippy top.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's interesting when, like, Wenger had a very good track record of selling players when they were
Yeah,
at
you
the
never,
exact
you
right
never,
time.
you never buy a player off Wenger, do you?
Except for Cesc Fabregas.
Wow.
Henry,
Henry did well.
They
as well
are
when
big
he left.
guys who were leaving though. They're not like
Van Persie.
Nasri.
got
Well,
one
Van
boot the week
Persie-
he left, or the
Van
year he
Persie.
left.
You almost
he
get it
had
yearly,
poor-
to be honest.
He had a poor year last year. He's a lot of pressure on him this year, and he
That
had a
was
poor World
injury.
Cup.
All I'm saying is, I don't think. Well, he let go of Leb. No, in all seriousness, I just
Who? Alex Song.
yeah, but look, listen, all I'm saying is Wenger no longer has the reputation he did have for selling people at the right time. We'll see. You know, as you said, him being a good on the ball as a centre back obviously is a huge part of it. So do you think that it will be first choice him and PK, or do you think Mash will still retain it? Or
Well, if everyone's fit, it'd probably be PK and Vermaelen, but I don't know. I still think the man they should have got was Hummels, or even Agger I would have gone ahead of. I think Agger, he's equally as good on the ball, but I think he if you need someone like, you know, in a war to head the ball away, put the body in the line, I'd have Agger ahead of Vermaelen.
Yeah.
My yeah.
I'd pick.
But it's good. I think it was a good business by Arsenal. That third choice centre half, getting rid of.
Do they have a
15 million.
replacement though? Because
Well, Chambers
Chambers
started
started.
Chambers
He
played.
started the Charity Shield game.
See, a centre back. I thought
They
he was a
made
wing
him
back.
a centre back.
Yeah, right back or centre half. Apparently Wenger sees him as a defensive mid as well.
I don't like young centre back.
That's incredible.
I think they're after another guy as well. I can't remember his name. But I'd say they will probably buy another centre half Arsenal, just as cover.
There's rumours they want Daniel Agger.
I'd hate that. I just hate to sound to anybody in the Premier League.
I don't think Brendan would do that.
I don't think Brendan would want to, but then again,
Brendan
this
has.
is a very touchy subject.
Speaking of a touchy subject, it
Oh.
looks like Colo Torres on his way.
Oh, hold on.
Where's he going?
Trapanzor.
Oh, is he going there? Is
2
he?
million.
They rejected a bid last week from
Yeah,
him. Didn't
they accepted personal terms, and
I didn't hear that now.
so
Why would he?
Because why would I still don't know.
the leader of our dressing room,
Yeah,
which I stand by.
that's
Yeah.
it.
not even Jared. No.
Oh, come on.
Who?
Come on. Right, explain to the listeners, John, who didn't see the pictures, what Lavezzi was up to this week.
Is that we're not saving that for the spoof of the week, fellas?
I didn't see that. I just...
Well, I will explain, and I will explain again for spoof of the week because this is
We
fantastic.
could just do spoof for the week now.
Well, anyway, he's wearing a pilot's hat, but where he was bringing the plane. Anyway, these pictures went a bit viral of
the pictures are a bit vile.
not vile.
Viral.
I don't know.
Vile.
No, I understand what
But
you're
yeah, there's just a few of him, just kind of, we haven't got our explicit rating on the podcast yet.
We have the facility to beep things though, John. So
He was he took pictures of himself about to engage in an intimate act with a pantless woman. Is that
Yeah.
fair?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, that's good.
It's a bit close, like he could have got wind resistance.
Well, John, why don't you also tell us about the Dortmund-Liverpool game that was 4-0? Because Liverpool were incredible. Coutinho was man of the match.
It was pretty fantastic. It was just a pre-season game, but it seems like our tactics haven't changed at all. We're very quick on the ball, very fast pace. We've made it more defensively. We play 2 defensive midfielders now and just play the one up front. The only problem is when Sturridge went off for Lambert, when things just really tend to slow down. So
Yeah.
I've
desperate need of another
always
striker.
liked Ricky Lambert, but
he's not.
if Sturridge gets injured,
He's going to get a lot
I
of
don't
pace
know.
if
Like
he's there.
he's gonna the penalty miss as well against Milan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Well,
think he's feeling pressure.
I think
Which
he
is understandable.
needs to get that goal.
He needs to forget where he is for a minute. I think
That's
he's
it.
very in his own head,
I think
which I'm
he's
sure
in
we
awe,
all
which
would
is
be.
quite odd because he seems a good pro and he seems good leader and stuff and experienced.
Yeah, but he
like,
threw,
again,
he threw a lot of his career.
yeah, well,
away.
not so forget in 2009 he was playing with Bristol Rovers
Exactly,
in League
like-
One.
I'd,
So
Well, no, again-
and he's what 32. So it's not like a gradually it's a young kid coming through the lower
I
ranks.
wouldn't be surprised if you see another wing attacker signed for Liverpool.
You
'cause
still
can
have
do Sterling.
the number 7 jersey to give out now. I know.
Yeah,
So they're like
that's good. That's good that they're not rushing it. I
Will
suppose.
you buy someone? Surely
But,
you're going to buy another
I can
striker.
see a wing
What
attacker
about
coming in.
Hugo?
Yeah, there has been rumours about Benteke. The top rumours at the moment, going from most unrealistic to realistic in terms of who we're linked with that could fill up front, is the Lavezzi, Cavani, Benteke, and Boni. Be a pretty nifty boy band quartet, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You know, in terms of names, see that on the poster. Who's your favourite? Oh, Benteke. No, I like Boni.
Who says Benteke or Boni in that question? Those players you mentioned. Who's going? Yeah, Benteke is my favourite.
Not many. I guess highlight of that match was so it was 20 passes, which led to the 21st being a goal. 16 different single touches as well. This all built up from a Mignolet kick out. It was. Did you see this, Dan?
I did, yeah. I saw the goals. I didn't see any of the match, but I think there was a Vine or something of all the goals I saw, and it was very good actually.
And Coutinho's assist for Sturgis first was.
It was very good, but again,
even
you
in
know,
pre-season,
lads, I wouldn't still though. It's pre-season, like it's obviously good to take positives out of it, but
sure.
you know, like it is a pre-season, and I don't know if even where. Did Dortmund even play a strong team?
I'd like to think I'm not buying
there?
into
Was
it.
Royce there?
Hummels was not there and Royce was injured.
Okay,
but everybody else. Mick was there.
Mick.
Mkhitaryan.
Who's they up front now? Is it your man Patrick? Is your man Mang?
Immobile.
Yeah, Mobile. Yeah,
he was terrible at the World Cup.
So Di Maria is pretty heavily. Well, actually, sorry. Just going back to the Liverpool thing for a sec. Did you see the video with Spina getting excited about it? There's a lad who came out and basically said, he thinks
we're going to win the treble.
We're going to win this. He was like, so what do you think of the game, man? I thought, honestly, I think we're going to win the treble.
Oh, Christ.
And people are ripping it out of Liverpool fans.
Did you see the Man City fan at Wembley?
No.
He's wearing a full Man City kit.
It's a Liverpool
and he
tattoo
has a
on his
Liverpool
leg.
tattoo on his leg.
Traitor.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Di Maria is heavily linked with Man United, to the point where maybe because Van Gaal came out during the week and said that they're lacking a winger of his quality.
Yeah, but where,
now, is this just a comparison?
I can't imagine him. Where would he play?
Well, here's the thing. Van Gaal, the list of people who Van Gaal said that they will listen to offers from came out this week. So you've Nani, Anderson, Fellaini, Raphael,
Cago?
No.
Chiquito?
Yes, Hernandez. So I guess if Raphael goes...
The Raphael one doesn't make sense to me.
No, not to me either. And they do go with 5 in the back. Maybe.
Well, Di Maria can't play that wing back role. He's not a wing back.
Well, I tell you what,
you get up and down the pitch for you, but he's.
You wouldn't have said he's a centre midfielder two years ago either.
Yeah, but he's not like he's going to be. He will literally be tracking a full back for the majority of matches.
Well, I think
you don't want him doing that.
They might change.
You saw the damage that he did against Barcelona last year at the Bernabeu.
No, John's right. They might. This whole.
If they get a player like Di Maria, you can see, like most teams do, when they get like a world class player, which he is. Well, the only reason I think he'll go is because I think he'll demand very high wages and a high transfer that I don't think a lot of teams can pay, other than United.
PSG.
No,
PSG already said no.
Yeah, that's
gone.
So it's Monaco or United.
PSG spent all their money on David Luiz, so
Monaco or somebody to replace Han as well.
So it all depends on next month. Like if Cavani or Lavezzi go somewhere, Di Maria might go.
Well, I think I could still see Lavezzi maybe go.
The financial fair play, whatever that turns to be, is getting fairly important because I think a lot of players want that.
Possibly.
But the Raphael thing does confuse me because if he wants to play that, he's a bit dodgy, but he's probably their best right wing back. If not their only one.
Not Valencia, yeah.
Valencia is.
I completely agree. Raphael would be the first guy you'd put on either of those flanks if they go to the 5-2-1-2, whatever they're doing. So we're going to get on to the nPower Championship now. And Dan, you had a hell of a hockey day. Why don't you go through it for us?
Yeah, it was.
I like puns.
They were. I remember I was here on Friday night. I got home, then I got a taxi. Right to the house. No key. Might as well check the old Twitter out. It's 3:05. Check the team lineups. Fucking hell, we're 1-0 down in 5 minutes. It's like, oh, bloody hell, guys! Like, they're the team that just keeps giving. Like, and apparently it was a pitiful, utter crap. That's what it was.
Did you not get into the house for the second half, or?
No, I did. I eventually got in, and then ironically I had to let you back in because you lost your keys. Well,
yeah, it was a day of losing keys after a night of having stoops.
So, it was Leeds were shite essentially, and they really just had nothing, and they were lucky to lose 2-0 to Millwall, and they're not up to much at all. I can see. They're playing Middlesbrough on Saturday coming. That's on telly. It's on Sky Sports. And they've got Accrington Stanley in the Cup this week as well.
Okay.
So if they lose to Accrington, or they struggle to beat them, and they lose to Borough, I can see him go this week.
You think Hockaday could be gone as early as this week?
Well, rightfully. I'm nothing against him. Like I don't know the man. He seems pleasant, but like he's only on. Here's an amazing fact. Brian McDermott, the former manager, he was on about 750 grand a year, which is good money, but it's not top level. Like, guess how much Dave Hockaday is on?
A year?
Minimum wage?
I don't know.
Oh yes. Now compare it now. What McDermott was on was 750 grand.
I'd say Hockaday's on 90 grand a year.
350, I'd say.
He's lower than yours. He's on about 65 to 70 grand a year. So like people like we know could be on more money than him. Like,
sure.
It's
the investors in this podcast.
Well, no, but it's just incredible. It's incredible though. Like, you know how we even got the job in the first place. I don't see him.
They had some transfer issues this week.
We did.
Well, before you go on to that, I just want to say that I love him because I watched the championship highlights, which are on very late on a Saturday night.
Yeah, all the teams I support, they just put the graveyard chips.
Yeah, and I watched it, and they had a good interview with him because the owner
he hadn't a clue.
And it's like he said that he got the job because he was chatting to some Italian bloke for an hour about football.
5 hours.
Oh, well, he said was it 5 hours?
Was it Cellino maybe for 5 hours or some Italian lad on the phone?
Some Italian lad for an hour and then Cellino for 5. But if he can get a job at Leeds United talking about football for an hour, there's hope for us yet.
Like I've got two coaching badges. Like, you know, I could be next in line for this, you know.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible.
Well, congratulations on your coaching badges.
Well, I've only got 2. And all you have to do is show up and get them, but like still though, you know. I've still got 2. I've got 2 more.
So
I was wondering why players had so many.
Could I get 2?
You could.
Wow.
They're like Premier League stickers, you know what I mean? Like, you just go to the shop and like, can I get Premier League stickers, packet of smokes, and some coaching badges, please?
Yeah. Do you want to get in on the stickers this year and do some swapsies on the air?
Yeah, go for it. I had my World Cup collection.
I can't afford that.
I had my old World Cup collection. They're going very well.
Yeah, you're an avid sticker collector to this day. When you were a kid, did you ever go to those wizard swapsy gimmicks?
Those things are murder. It's like
no.
What a Metallica
I was about
concert
4 years
now.
old, and I said we got absolutely fleeced or killed. So
no,
Okay.
I went. They were fun.
All right.
yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. They've Hockaday. He's more than a fucking puppet. Excuse
Go
the
on,
language.
the transfer thing.
Okay, so Sam Byram, who is probably Leeds' best player, he's a right back. He's another homegrown player out of the very successful academy. They've rejected a bid from Southampton. They're looking to fill the Chambers gap that they've sold to Arsenal. I don't know how much the bid was for. I was reported about 3 million. I think Cellino is going to do what he did with Ross McCormack and say 10 million, just to literally.
Do Norwich not have first dibs on all your players?
No, they're in the championship now, so probably not. No,
Right.
no, they still have a few of them though. But yeah, so if he goes, you know, the Leeds fans are going to be like really getting restless, like because it's got to a stage like we never replaced McCormack. Well, you got your man, you like Ducara up front.
How did he play?
He didn't do anything. He was taken off.
So was McCormack though.
We could talk about that now. Put a bit of a smile on my face. The 11 million pound man Ross McCormack.
I just want to ask
taken
you
off
then,
57 minutes into his Fulham debut.
He was awful. I just want to ask you then before we continue. Leeds, Kalina's trying to get Leeds out of like a lot of debt.
He has done that. He's the media made up a lot of stories about it. Like what he said to them was during the summer he brought them all back early and he goes, "Look, lads, the catering is closed. I'm not getting caterers and bring your own lunch."
Yeah.
It was simple as that. He's like, "Just bring your own lunch."
Yeah, but would you not? Well,
And then
hopefully
they
not
closed-
relegation, but
they
to
closed
save
it-
the club and save it from another disaster, which you've had about 3.
Well,
in the
if we
last
get
2 years or
relegated, the
something.
club will be a bit disaster again. You know.
Yeah, but if
like
it's out of
we'll
them-
never get out of that League One again. Like going to places like fucking Cheltenham and fucking
Races are good there.
yeah. It's horrendous.
I was one of the. I think I wasn't the only one
Exeter
who,
and all these places.
who predicted Fulham might be able to go back up. But so what happened to them?
Ipswich just played them off the park.
It's a completely new team. I think it's going to take them a bit
we
of time to get
we know
there
a
again.
Fulham fan, and he just goes like, I know 3 or 4 players
Yeah.
from the team, like Scott Parker there, Ross McCormack. Who's the other one?
Dembele?
Yeah, not Musa Dembele, another Musa Dembele.
The
He's no
third
relation.
Musa Dembele.
No, it's only the second.
Alright.
Is he called Musa Dembele the second?
Yeah.
Well, there's no relation.
Just
And he's Belgian
Just
as well.
Roman numerals beside his name.
Nice.
Well, yeah, like no one knows any of the players or anything, and so they lost 2-1, and they took off McCormack after 57 minutes. Now he wasn't having a great game anyway, but you pay £11 million for a player and you take him off after 57 minutes.
Do you think he was kind of showing like you're not just because we sold most of our team and got relegated?
They brought Rolega on. He used a lot of games. But I don't know. I think Fulham they've such a new team. If they do well this year, I'm not too sure. I think they'll be hovering around the playoffs, but
Okay.
they've got a lot of got to get used
But
to
the
each other.
Championship has always been mental. It's not like the Premier League.
Oh no!
where
See, the
you
problem
can't
is
lose.
the Championship. There's
The
always a
Championship-
team from nowhere, like Burnley, for example, who got promoted last year.
Yeah.
A lot of people said like they'd be bottom 6-7,
Sure.
and they finished second. It's all about momentum in the Championship, and if you have a good manager, experience, and momentum, it's like you always see a team like a train every year from Christmas onwards. See, Leeds were nearly that team, but we went the wrong way
Yeah.
last year. We were fourth at Christmas, and then we nearly got relegated.
You went the wrong way.
We literally put it in reverse.
Would you blame the... okay. So you wouldn't blame the conductor. It wasn't like he switched the line over to the wrong side and you went kind
Possibility,
of northwest.
like I'm really clutching on straws here, though.
That sounds like it. A team who didn't struggle were Derby.
They did struggle.
Did they?
They did, yeah. They took a
We
late
almost cursed them all. Every team that we tipped were doing quite badly.
It was
up to
about 80
70
minutes. 80 minutes in, all the teams that we had predicted to do well this year were losing. The team you predicted, Brighton, they lost.
Brighton and Hove, yeah.
They lost to Wednesday at home.
They were
they're up
unlucky.
to 10 men as well.
Yeah, there's some players got like 9 sittings off in his career so far. He's doing a bit of Sergio Ramos apparently.
And this is Wigan as well. They had a thrilling 2-2 draw with Reading.
That was a great match.
That
That really got me back in the mood with Soccer Saturday.
So it's
there.
Callum McManaman and Jason McCarthy, two of their FA Cup heroes, got the goals there. Reading could be good manager there, Nigel Atkins. He knows how to get out of divisions, lower leagues. But Derby, late minute goal from Irish international Jeff Hendrick. So
They beat Carlisle today.
they beat Carlisle in the Cup tonight. They did. So it'd be interesting anyway. But Derby, they will be definitely in around there. I can't see it happening. But a team who won't be there is, which I'm glad because we never beat them anyway. Huddersfield. They sacked their manager after one game.
Now, how did this guy get sacked after one game? What went so wrong?
I don't really. Well, they did get trounced now by
Did he
Bournemouth.
hit someone
It was
from
at
the
home.
publicity team? Like,
Could it be what?
did he hit someone from the publicity team?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, possibly. Well, I don't know. Well,
Listen to our sister podcast.
Yeah, you can go on to www.thisaintfake.com on Thursdays and hear
And you
what
can listen
John
for
is talking
$9.99.
about. No, it's free.
oh really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I got mixed up.
Until we have to get the Premier League stickers, then me and John will be funded by the slight subscription to both podcasts.
Grand.
So get them while they're hot.
And our investors that earn more than the Leeds United man.
That's right. They're quite divine.
All
right, okay,
He doesn't
come on.
listen to it though.
Does he?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him in weeks. So.
Okay. Maybe when we get... No, I was going to... Okay. Okay, go on.
Yeah, be careful there now.
No.
Careful what you're saying.
I'm saying
Dead air, people. Dead air.
Well, anyway, they lost 4-0 at home to Bournemouth, who by the way, I tipped for top 6 last week.
And they beat a team that sacked their manager after 1 week, so I can't imagine Huddersfield.
Not top of the league. What
It's
else
one
can you say?
week. Come on.
And the
Top
finish
of the league on
next
goal
week.
difference.
We'll see what happens when they come around to the third round of fixtures.
Yeah, I know.
So when Hockaday goes, is Mark Robinson a potential new manager for you guys?
No, I think.
You have to sign somebody who nobody's ever heard of.
Well, preferably sacked by Forest Green. That's what they like to go for these days. So,
That's
so
the kind of level we're
well,
looking at.
Robbins, he kind of never really got Huddersfield going, and he only got us one game. Something must have happened. I don't know about, but to be sacked after the day after the opening game of the championship is odd. Like So
Do you want to talk about the League of Ireland, or will we do our Premier League preview next?
Premier League, I'd say.
All right.
Premier League.
Okay, exciting stuff. All right, so let's go team by team. We'll talk about the contenders, and we'll talk about how they've performed in the transfer market, and if there's any signs from pre-season that we haven't touched on
would
yet.
we want to give him a potential starting 11s as well for all of them? Be nice.
Okay. All right, Man City. Well, let's do it in this. We'll go around. We'll do one each. Okay. So who wants to take Man City? Okay. Joe Hart in goal. I can see Kolarov.
I think Clichy might get that nod.
Really?
Hmm.
So you think it'll be Clichy and Sagna on
No, it'd be Zabaleta.
Zabaleta? Okay.
Of course.
All right, so we'll go
Much better
Zab,
than
we'll go
Sagna.
Zab, Clichy, Mangala, Company,
Mhm.
Fernandinho, Yaya.
Playing 3 of them.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about the start of the season.
Oh, yeah.
Yaya, Dzeko, Silva, Navas. He obviously fancies Jovetic as well to come in. I hate saying this phrase because it's so overused, but he in a way could really be like a new signing, couldn't he?
Well, yeah, I think he struggled with the pace of the Premier League, but they also have Nasri as well. He had a very good season. That was his best season I've probably ever seen him play.
Yeah, it's just...
He had a good season a few years ago with Arsenal. He won really good year, and then he was sold.
It doesn't seem that Pellegrini's giving him ever gave him a good run of games last year, though. So what's going to change this year?
Who, Jovetic?
No, for Nasri.
Well, he played a lot last year. I did.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that would be my starting 11. I would go with perhaps for the opening game of the season.
Well, if Aguero,
Obviously-
he won't be fit after the World Cup and all that. So
Okay, so let's say they go with the two up front, and you have Silva at the top of the midfield. Who's partnering up with Yaya then? Is it going to be Fernando? Or
I've never seen
Fernandinho?
this Fernando lad.
He's
I'm not going to lie.
He's more of a defensive midfielder than Fernandinho was, if you know what I mean. Like Fernandinho, you maybe see his box.
They still have the boring James Milner and Javi Garcia as well.
I can't see them playing both Silva and Yaya Toure, who they're playing 2 up front.
Okay.
Because I think
oh,
after
no,
the
there's
Arsenal
no
game-
way. There's no way they drop Silva.
Well, not for a
No way.
start. They can't play the 4-4-2 against. They have big games. They play Liverpool like second week of the season, or coming close to it anyway. So, if they play that way against Liverpool, they get destroyed. No matter who they are, they can't play 2 up front with 2 attacking minded.
Yeah, but Pellegrini is a good manager though. He's not.
He
He's not a mug.
I'm not saying he's mug, but
You know.
no one wanted to win the league last year. He almost threw it away.
No. Like, every team tried to throw it away. I think Chelsea actually blew it the biggest, to be honest.
They absolutely did. But
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Dan's gonna give
City,
us- go ahead.
I still think they're. I don't know what they're lacking. I think they're missing
lacking a
something.
striker.
Maybe a striker, but if Jovetic again can step up, maybe they have that.
Well, if Dzeko...
Rumours Liverpool are in for him because I think City want someone else.
That would be incredible. I'd take him every day of
Dzeko?
the week.
Yeah,
No,
Jovetic.
for Jovetic. I think if Dzeko plays as good as he did last year, if Aguero can stay fit and if Jovetic can come in, I think they'll actually be far stronger than they were last year. Dan, go through Arsenal for us and what you perceive to be their starting 11.
Okay. Well, if people know me, Arsenal will be kind of the team I like the most in the Premier League. I think they play good football and all that. So I have to support something somewhat useful.
So why Arsenal?
Yeah, well, they don't win anything, so I'm used to, that's why.
There's a slight sense of familiarity.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And they don't nick our players, so
Don't need them.
that exactly don't want them. So the Chesney will be in goal anyway. Debussy will be right back. I think Chambers. I think Chambers is more of a Carling Cup. Maybe play at home to your. Who are the shit teams in the Premier League this year?
Yeah, you really
Burnleys and
miss
your
Norwich for this, don't you?
Hulls and your your Norwich and your Fulhams are the two you always had like.
Well, Fulham are hard to beat away most years. Not so much last year.
Not last year. They so they'll probably go Debussy and they'll probably have Mertesacker and Koscielny. Like they're a good pair. Gibbs, he's actually been given a number 3 jersey this year.
That's pretty much a statement of intent.
So,
So it's on the left.
So Monreal will be back up again. He's not great, but
No.
I still think they're seriously lacking in the middle of the park, and I think the player they're after Khedira, we all know that one. But the one player I think, and he has never been, no one's talking about him. I think he'd be perfect is Xavi Martinez off Bayern Munich. If he went to Arsenal, I think they'd have everything.
Okay, well, let's talk about who they have. Is it going to be Arteta or Flamini sitting there?
I think Arteta's captain, isn't it?
Arteta and Ramsey will be sitting.
Okay.
Well, Ramsey won't really be sitting, but they'll play. Alexis will play probably. He could play on the left.
Sure.
Walcott, if he won't be fit, so it could be. They could put Ox back in or Wilshere, switch Ramsey out, and then Ozil behind Giroud.
I think they look great.
They like.
On
I
paper.
think what we said earlier is the mental thing that
Yeah.
they've got over, and I think that's huge. And to see if they can take that mental strength into the big games this year, because they just got stage fright, especially away from home where they got trounced in 2 or 3 of the games after 10 minutes
I
they were
think-
3-0 down.
I think they're missing another striker. Like you say, Liverpool are short up there, but Liverpool have almost guaranteed 20
Yeah,
goals
well,
this season striker.
Sonogo, 4 goals is he?
Yeah,
It's
but
going to be interesting to see Snow.
Snow's
I'm,
gonna
I'm
be
not
a-
convinced.
No. I don't
So
think- I
one
don't think
tweet
any-
that was Sonogo and Sanchez new SAS, which was interesting.
Okay.
No, but I think definitely a defence midfielder because Arteta, he's already against Sunderland at home.
Well, still Flamini.
And I also think at any
Flamini,
team,
yeah, he's good, but there's a reason why he was got on a free transfer the last. Like he's good.
I think he actually did really well every game.
He is. He does play well. Now Abu Dhabi is back as well, but for how
Okay,
long we don't
yeah,
know.
I still think they'll get caught for pace. I don't think they've done anything to improve that.
They needed they do need a quick striker, I think. But now not unless he sees
I don't know many teams
Alexis
that can catch
as a
them.
number 9.
Well, see, he did play him as number 9 in one preseason game.
I don't think he can play that.
Well, they got fairly easily beaten by Monaco,
Yeah.
1-0. But they hammered Benfica
Man City.
and City, so I think it could be still up and down for Arsenal. I still think they're lacking maybe a really amazing defensive midfielder. I think Martins would be perfect because he can pass.
Sure.
He's real strong. He's great presser
What I'd say
of the
about-
ball. I think he's
Yeah.
great. I think he's so underrated. I think
He's very
brilliant.
good. What I would say about Bayern Munich, even after getting rid of Toni Kroos, still have a tremendous amount of people who can play in the midfield. But I think if Arsenal got their first 11 right, if they optimised their squad and they really figured out what their best first 11 was, they're as good as absolutely anybody, in my opinion. Even if it was something like Cazorla and Walcott on the flanks, Alexis up front, and you had Ozil at the top with Ramsey and Arteta, or Wiltshire and Arteta or something. Like you could have a lot of tremendous pace and passing in that team if you could work out the issue with who plays
It'd be
number 9.
interesting as well, though. Oxlade-Chamberlain this year.
There you go.
I could nearly see him playing middle of the park this year.
Well, you
That's
said
a bigger
this.
chance of Walcott playing in the middle of the park than I'd say of Oxlade-Chamberlain.
They have a lot of people to play in the middle of the park. Okay, not
Walcott
Arsenal.
playing centre mid.
Oh, I thought you meant up front.
No, I mean bang in the middle.
There you go.
They could try Walcott.
He was experimenting a lot with Walcott playing through the centre before he got injured.
And I don't think they'll use him very much this year, but they still have Podolski as well.
That's incredible. I would be surprised if he sticks around. Okay, John, this is a tough one for you because, obviously today it came out that there could be a big exodus over the next week. But then again, who are they going to get in? So just given the current United squad, with the idea of them playing 3 in the back with 2 wing backs, what would you predict to be their starting 11 come next Saturday?
I was reading about this earlier, and the main thing about United is the 3 centre backs, which look like to be Jones, Evans, and
Smalling.
which that won't finish top 4. So they really need if they can get Hummels, they pay a lot of money for him.
Hummels was made captain today by Dortmund.
So he's taken over from Ben. No, it was a Bender, was it?
It was Bender. No, Hummels has been made captain. There
So-
you go.
It was a Weidenfeller.
I don't know. It was a German.
They need to bring in another centre back, I think. You guys say Valencia. I probably would have had Raphael, but I can understand the Valencia thing. Shaw looked very good in their pre-season match against Liverpool, so I'd imagine he'll start. Herrera looks very good, but
Yeah.
He's very good.
I think he'll
He's
get
class.
a few bookings, if not a few red cards this season. He seems.
Well, yeah, he's a good player now. He's what they need. He's just someone. He's not necessarily just going to be a defensive midfielder or a number 10. He's usually just a number. What was the word? Number 8. He just sits in the middle of the park, sprays. He's kind of like Scholes. He'd be the closest replacement. He's not he could play number 10 if he wanted. He
Sure.
could play number 4, but he can also just sit in the middle and spray and control the game. And that's what they don't have.
They'd have Carrick beside him, so those two might be.
I think that could be
Key.
useful. Carrick can sit and just let Herrera kind of dictate the game more because
I think
they're
that's
dictating
the
through
plan.
Carrick. He's not that player now.
Right, so John, who do we have so far? We have the 3 centre backs, and you said Valencia and Raphael.
Raphael and Shaw.
Raphael and Shaw.
I
Okay,
think.
all right.
Herrera and Carrick.
Herrera and Carrick. Yeah.
Rooney, Mata, and Van Persie.
Van Persie. That's yeah, it sounds about right to me. What's that you've written out there?
I had the Chelsea team, but
Awesome, take it.
I drew a few blanks, so apologies to the Chelsea fans.
Okay, go for it.
I have Courtois in goal. I think he'll start. He started most of pre-season, and I think he'll.
Do you think Czech will go?
No, I think he'll stay there for at least a season.
What about if Monaco coming from?
I think if somebody came in, that Jose would listen. But I think in a perfect world, Jose would would be quite happy. We actually didn't talk about Rain at the Bayern Munich. Interesting, because he's certainly going to sit in the bench, which was his issue.
I think it's like when Dudek left on Liverpool terms. I think the goalkeeper way past his best that took a big money transfer to a big team.
Was
small money
Dudek at his
transfer. Well, he left after Champions League.
the night before the night of his last match.
When the point blank save from Shevchenko when it hit his head and it went over the bar. It was like the most ridiculous.
It's like
moment.
the Torres thing. Like, would you have 3 years when you played the best football of your life, or would you have 5 years when you were terrible but won everything you can?
Yeah, I think in terms actually of a
He's
record,
won everything. It's incredible.
Except for the Premier League, but yeah. So
I think he'll win it this year.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. But go on. So Courtois in goal.
Ashpilicueta on the right.
No Ivanovic?
No. Cahill and Terry, centre backs. Luis Enrique, left back.
What?
No, who's your man?
Luis Enrique. He's the Barcelona manager.
No, I was
Felipe
thinking-
Luis.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Where am I going from? Matic, defensive midfielder, who came in. He's going to be a leader of this.
Yeah.
I have Ramirez and Fabregas.
Yeah,
I think
I'd go with that.
absolutely right.
Spot on. Yeah.
And then I have Hazard and Shirley with
Oof.
Costa up front.
That's some team, isn't it? Even Willian to come in.
Willian was the one
Oscar.
I went blank on.
But the whole
Oscar
thing,
as well.
the thing about that Chelsea midfield, what I really like about it, they're going to play that kind of Mourinho defensive way, and Mourinho loves a number 10, right? Who's very direct, like not direct, like he's going to look forward and play a pass. That's what Cesc will do. He'll just look forward and he'll play it. And Costa has got the pace and the power from the counter attack. Like he's played all.
Could you see Fabregas playing up front if Costa gets injured and Oscar playing?
Nah, he's got 3 centre forwards. In fact,
yeah,
yesterday
Drogba's got injured, and apparently there's a lot of rumours they're sniffing for Remy because he does not trust Torres.
Well, Torres.
Did you see Torres yesterday?
Yeah, he did the flick.
And Mourinho.
Torres and Drogba started together yesterday.
That was mad.
It's absolutely insane. Yeah, but Drogba getting the knock. If they went in for Remy, my God, Willian. Obviously, I could go on that team. I think that's pretty perfect, John.
And what great is about the team as well, you've got Matic for the kind of the power, and he can sit. Ramirez is just like he was born like with 4 lungs or something, and then you've got.
He had a poor season last year though. That's why I wasn't sure about putting him in.
Yeah, well,
Jose fancies him. He started almost every.
And then you'd have even something he switches to right wing when he wants to play defensive.
Yeah.
And then you've got Cesc obviously to provide those class touches.
My one question mark is will he play Shirley, because
surely he will.
That's what you.
There's rumours here he might go. That's why I wasn't sure about putting him in.
But I would
to where?
Absolutely have him.
Well, the thing is, what they're doing now is they're buying these sort of players and selling them for big profit.
Yeah. Yeah. They've got your man Mohamed Salah as well.
Yeah.
No, I know he's not going to. They still have so many options.
They've quite a lot of options.
Like I saw a graphic of their 2 teams. There's like if they broke down their 2 teams.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
It's like Football Manager stuff. Like
there's a training match you wouldn't mind watching. Okay, Dan, you're going to have to take Liverpool because I guess it's kind of fair.
And we'll just let you walk through it because we're going to predictions.
Okay, I suppose then Mignolet will be in goal. You don't really have a good backup keeper, which I wouldn't worry about it, but
I would, and I do.
In case he does get injured, you could be in trouble. Right back, I didn't see your man Manquillo, but you said he's good, so I'm just going to put him there because there's no one else. I'd put Flanagan left back. I thought he did quite a good job this last season.
Okay.
I wouldn't trust Enrique because he hasn't properly played for 18 months.
I play Enrique against the bottom 10 teams of the Premier League. Nothing more than that.
Yeah,
and I think the last time he was playing for Liverpool before he got injured was like left wing. With Downing.
No, he reverted back.
Did
to
he revert back?
That was only your first couple of games. Very horrifying.
And then centre backs, I would imagine will be Skirtle. Lovren and Sacco. I think
it's going to be Lovren and Skirtle, my friend.
Yep.
Not Sacco.
Nope.
Okay.
Lovren, Skirtle, and Lovren at left side.
Okay, and I think it will be Gerrard and Henderson will sit. Sturridge will be up top by himself. I'm just going to work this out now. So Coutinho would be number 10. Even they could put Sterling at 10.
Sterling's definitely going to play in the wing, my friend, because the way that they're lining up now is if Coutinho isn't playing number 10, he's out on the wing, and it's Henderson at the top with Gerrard and Can holding. So
what about Lallana? Like, he spent 20 odd million on him.
That's the thing.
He could stick Lallana left
Can
wing.
going out for Lallana.
And Henderson dropping back.
Yes.
And Lallana going left.
Yes.
And then Sturridge, and again, I like Lambert, but the way Liverpool play, he doesn't really suit their style with the lack of pace.
Okay, let's do this midfield again. So we've got Gerrard, Hendo, Coutinho,
Sterling. I'd actually put Lallana in.
Lallana, Sterling.
And then Sturridge. Like, it is
That's pretty nuts.
It is a good team, but again, if Sturridge gets injured, which he in the last couple of years he's never managed to stay fit for maybe, you need every player is going to miss a couple of games, but he misses probably maybe 10 a year, would he?
He is
10 league games, a lot.
Yeah.
Like, so, if they're stuck with Lambert now, again, he could prove him right. I actually kind of hope he does.
I think he's trying to find a replacement for.
The Remy deal now, that was huge. Can Markovic play up front, or is he just a winger?
I think if Markovic, Lallana would both play with Sterling up front. At the moment, that's the only way. Or as Coutinho as a false 9. Sterling, yeah, sorry. Yeah. That's the only way I can see it happening.
Okay, I'm going. Do you know what we're going to do? Because there's so much riding on it, we're going to leave the actual team predictions of relegation in top 4 top 6 till the end. Okay, so surprise package of the season. Is this a team or a player you're looking for?
I have a team.
I think team, because there's always one like you'd have to say maybe Hull City. I know they're going to drop back down because they're concentrating on the cup, but they were safe. Crystal Palace did this amazing job under Tony Pulis. Stoke had a great year last year as well. I actually fancy them to go down last year under Hughes, and look where they finished. So and then I could always have a surprise, like a surprise like could be like a big team going down as well. Like I think Aston Villa.
They're my first choice.
There are surprises as well. So like we can do that after.
No, go for it. Surprise.
Do it now,
surprise package of the season team.
I have Newcastle.
What?
Really?
Yeah,
that is a surprise.
They've signed a few players for once.
Yeah, but you wouldn't trust Ballon would you?
I wouldn't. But he
put Messi in the team, you'd make him a bad player.
He got them up there. I think.
Since this all Kabay though, they didn't care.
True,
like they won one match in like 15 games.
I think the team was based around Kabay and they sold them. The team was based around a player and then they sold him without bringing in a replacement.
And Ben Arfa, did you see what he's doing?
Yeah, but he's like fat. Like they want to get rid of him.
Yeah,
they do.
Apparently, Pardew was looking for 15 million. It's like
that's outrageous. But maybe like some French team would pay that.
Newcastle are the ones who buy those players. Though.
Yeah, but no, I think Newcastle. I think Newcastle. Like I can't see them breaking in anywhere, but I can definitely see them getting a few results, a few shock moments. They're my surprise package.
Okay, Dan.
I haven't really thought of it. Surprise package. Will
we come back to you?
Yeah, come back to me. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going with QPR.
I have them to get relegated.
Oh, amazing!
No,
I think if Harry can do it, and if Harry can use the resources properly, and the really weird squad they have, and hang on to Remy, I definitely think that they could definitely get top 8, maybe even a little bit better, but we'll see. So I'm going to go with that. Okay, player of the season. John, anybody that you think is definitely going to take it?
I have 2.
Okay, so do I actually.
One is for selfish reasons and very much depends on my hopeful top 4, but I think Coutinho.
Right.
And then the one I actually think will get it will be Hazard, because I think Chelsea will win the league.
Okay, I have Coutinho and Cesc. Dan?
Player of the season,
Player of the season.
I'm actually going to be a bit bold here. I'm going to give young player of the year as well. And I'm going to give that to Raheem Sterling. I think he's very good.
Okay.
You're not already giving him that?
Well, give it to him again. And depending on fitness, if he's fully fit for the whole year, which I don't think he will be, Aguero.
That's ballsy, man. He's not going to be around.
Well, that's if he is fit. That's what I said. But I think the man who will get it, I think, will be Cesc.
Okay, so in between, like we all have a common link between our ideas of who can get it. First manager sacked.
Lambert. They already hired his replacement.
Roy Keane. Yeah.
If he lasts till October, I'll be shocked.
Okay, I think that's a pretty safe bet.
I'll go through them here. Sam Allardyce could be one. If they don't play the way he wants, that the owners want him to,
I don't think they'll do that anyway. But
you never know. Pardew, I know he won't be sacked. He's a big yes man.
I'm going to absolutely stick with Lambert, the filth of the earth that he is.
Yeah, I think.
Have you seen the players they've signed?
Could be
some Liverpool legends and other stuff.
Do you remember Robert Pires played for them in 2009?
Yeah, it was incredible.
What was that about?
I don't know.
Was that with Houllier as a manager?
Houllier,
coach.
It was, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I think we'll all go for Lambert, will we?
Just for a shock, when I'm going to throw Pellegrini in there.
All right. This is where it gets interesting now. Our picks, and I hope we've worked long and hard on. Oh, I've missed one, haven't I? Top scorer.
Again, if he's fit, Aguero. If not, Diego Costa.
I am going to go with Daniel Sturridge, and let me tell you why. Because out of all the top 4 teams, okay, and if you look at playing one up front and reliance on goals, if Sturridge stays fit, I can't see anybody else getting, because Sturridge will be playing the lone striker. If Man United, if their guys stay fit, the goals will be shared between Mata, Rooney and Van Persie. I think Aguero I think Aguero and Jovetic and Dzeko will be swapping and swapping as much as possible, depending on fitness. And then obviously Chelsea, there's a big question mark. Sturridge is proven, and he'll be playing up front by himself when he's fit, ideally. So I'm going to go with Daniel Sturridge as my top scorer.
Yeah, so the one there you were talking about there, like the goals would be relying on someone. If Arsenal get their acts together, and like I still think he is improving every season he has been there. Giroud, I don't know. I don't think he scored 20 goals though, would he? But
No.
you're just saying the reliance of goals. But there's so many goals in that Arsenal team, though. I think like Ramsey could be their top scorer, and that's another possible.
But the
player this
closest
season
to
as well.
Sturridge and Suarez is Yaya Toure, and he was getting a lot of free kicks and penalties.
Yeah,
It depends on the
he had about 7 or 8 from dead ball situations.
So that's the thing. So, like, if you look last year, Suarez and Sturridge did so well. So, what are Liverpool saying? They're saying that everybody else has to swap up to fill in the space that Suarez leaves behind. But the idea is that Sturridge will need to do the same, except he's actually playing he'll be playing an absolute 100% centre role. So I can just see like him carrying over his form from last year. I can't see why he wouldn't.
I kind of agree with Neil, but I don't know if we're doing a betting thing and who gets most right. So I'm going to go with Van Persie or David Nugent.
What? David Nugent?
Yeah, Leicester City.
To be top scorer?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's class. Got them single-handedly promoted.
No, he didn't.
Okay, here's the big one, lads.
I have to think of my surprise package.
David Nugent. Leicester City, why not?
Yeah, fuck, we'll go for Leicester, will we?
Okay, write it down, for heaven's sake, before you
Oh, do I have to do this? Right? Oh, I've been writing it down here.
Okay, well, while Dan does that, we're going to have a look at who we believe to be the 3 teams that are going to be relegated this season. I'll go first. Southampton, because they don't have any players. I'm going to go with Leicester, because I just don't understand why they're in the Premier League, and
Saves a load of money, that's why.
And I'm going to use that same argument for Burnley. So Burnley, Leicester and Southampton I see going down next
I have
season.
none of them. How exciting.
Brilliant. Go for it, John.
I have Aston Villa.
Okay.
They've signed Muck. The club seems to be a bit down the dumps anyway. They have that 2-manager thing that has never worked out for people. So I think West Brom, I think they were very lucky to stay up last year. And I have QPR. They have Rio Ferdinand and Richard Dunn at the back.
Richard Dunn, Rio took his squad number.
Oh,
he's no longer number 5. Richard Dunn doesn't got a number.
And they have
poor Richie.
Financial fair play will be
that could kill. Well, hopefully it does.
And I just cannot see how they still.
Harry won't. I know he went down with Southampton, but he took over very late in the season. It was 2004 or 5.
I don't know much about the teams coming up.
Burnley have got 2 good lads up front, Danny Ings and Vokes. They've got Trippier, he's a good player. They've got 1 or 2 good lads. Like decent manager, but they're under no pressure. Burnley, that's the whole thing.
Who's your 3, John? So you said Villa, QPR, and
West Brom.
West Brom.
I have 2 of those.
Okay, go for that.
And I've got West Brom and Villa. Just saying Burnley are okay, but I just think it's such a massive step up.
Too much
for them. So they're the 3 I'm going to go. So 2 teams in Birmingham to go down. I think Hull could be in danger as well because they've got the Europa League. They could just get a massive shock by going to Armenia and Albania and Russia, then coming back to play, Stoke on a Sunday, and it's like, what the hell? I'm wrecked, So that could, you see a lot of those teams. I think Leicester will stay up. I think they've probably just got enough firepower, and they have a very good manager, Nigel Pearson as well. I think QPR will be fine because of the manager as well. I think they have enough experience there. Like you've got leaders, like you got Rio Ferdinand, you got Clint Hill, you've got experience there.
Sean Wright Phillips.
Well, he's freaking played about 400 games in the Premier League.
Exactly. All right, so
been at a World Cup as well.
There you go. Okay, so Dan, you're going with Burnley and Aston Villa
and West Brom.
Okay, so here's the big one. Now, just to explain this as clearly as possible, we're going to pick our top 6 here because the top 4 is kind of, it's not redundant in terms of what it means for you, but it really has become, more than the top 4 ever since the emergence of Man City and the fall of United and other little topics like that. Here's what we're going to do. We said on one of our first podcasts that basically the winner of the top 6, the person who comes closest to predicting the top 6 will have a night out funded by the other 2 members of the podcast, and we'll also be bringing some audio recording equipment on site as well and playing it the week after the Premier League ends. So, just in the event of a draw, there is going to be a swing place. So basically, you can choose a swing place. So you can say, this is what I believe the top 6 to be, but I think that who I have as number 2 could have an equal amount of chances.
And do we call that now, do we?
Oh, we have to call that now. So I'm gonna set the tone by giving my top 6, and I'm going to give my swing position as well. Is this clear to everybody?
No.
Yes.
Really? I've explained this to you
Yeah,
off the
no,
air.
yeah, no,
Okay,
I
go
get
back.
it.
All right, so I'm so angry at you.
Still don't get it.
Okay, so I believe going from bottom to top, I have Everton at 6,
Okay.
United at 5. I have Arsenal at 4. I believe Liverpool are going to come 3rd. I believe Man City are going to come 2nd. I believe Chelsea are going to win the Premier League this year. My swing position is going to be 3rd and 4th, so I think that there is as much a chance of Arsenal coming 3rd as Liverpool. So right now I've got Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, United with my swing. Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, United, Everton. So I'm saying my 3rd and 4th place could swing.
Can I do mine?
Please.
6th, yeah.
Yep.
6th is Manchester United.
Amazing.
5th is Manchester City.
What?
This is outrageous.
What have you got against the Manchester team today?
Nothing. Just
Jesus.
4th.
You said Pellegrini be sacked first.
Pellegrino.
4th
Pellegrini
is Everton.
Wow.
3rd is Arsenal. 2nd are Liverpool. 1st are Chelsea.
And what position are you going to choose for your swing there?
4th and 5th.
So that right now you have it as...
Everton to finish 4th and City to finish 5th.
So you're saying City could finish 4th, Everton 5th
Yep.
is your swing. Excellent. Dan?
Oh, this is... I suppose 6 would be Stoke. 5 would be Newcastle.
Come on.
4 would be QPR. I don't know.
Let him finish.
no, I'd scrap that. I'd say Everton would be 6th. Now, this is where I'm 4th and 5th. I can't decide this.
Well, that should be your swing then, right?
Yeah, go for it. See, there's so many factors.
You've had 5 weeks to do this.
Yeah. I'm very unprepared today. Too hungover.
Two hangovers.
Too hangover,
Come
yeah.
on.
Okay, so I'm going to go Man United 5th, 4th Liverpool, 3rd Arsenal, 2nd City, and Burnley to win the league. Chelsea to win the league.
So we all think Chelsea are going to win the league.
And I'm going to go for the swing. See, Arsenal generally finish 4th regardless, but I can't. I think they'll have too much. I think Man United
swing as that.
I think
your prediction would be the exact same as mine.
I think I'm going to put the swing as 4th and 5th for Man United Liverpool because I can't get them apart because Man United will be much better under Van Gaal and they don't have Europe. Well, Liverpool do, and they mightn't be able to react well to it.
Stats
That's a massive thing because Liverpool haven't had Europe now for 5 years.
Yeah, but stats prove that Champions League does not affect Premier League at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
take into account that when a team is in the Champions League, they tend to have a bigger squad, though.
Yes, which Liverpool have bought this year.
It's an absolute fact.
Well, I'm gonna stick
Premier
Liverpool 4th and Man United 5th, but that's going to be my swing.
I don't know how people. I'll be amazed if United finish top 4. They have based on 3 centre backs.
Well, there's 3 weeks left, and you would have thought that Dutch team could have got to the semi-final to World Cup.
Very true, but
Van Gaal, he's proven and I think that he won't take any crap from anyone.
I think they'll be top of the league very early because they've 6 very winnable fixtures. But I think they'll play one of the big boys and things will really turn around there.
But it's not going to be like Moyes. Man United won't get creamed in the big matches like they did last year. There's no way
they'll gain a bit of the fear factor left. They won't lose as many games at Old Trafford. But what's Van Gaal going to do against Tony Pulis at Crystal Palace? 3 at the back. Van Persie will probably be injured, so that puts Rooney. Kagawa, is he saying?
Yeah.
No, they need another striker, I think, and they definitely need one world-class centre-back, if not.
2.
And is Rooney captain? Or Van Persie captain?
Looks like probably Van Persie.
I don't know. I think give Van Gaal a second season and they'll be up there, but not this season.
That's pretty much how I feel. I do think Van Gaal, with
it's not just
full
David
year to
Moyes.
prepare for a transfer window, will be a little bit different.
But I think it's going to be a very fascinating season again, which I think is good because as Everton, probably, well, my view, top 3 managers in the Premier League. They have Roberto Martinez. They
Top
have
4.
him.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, everybody in that top 6 looks incredible.
Like, they do look at, like, Spurs will probably be 7th as well.
This is what I was going to say. If there's any, like, so
even though Spurs have a very good manager as well.
within the top 6, we've all picked the top 6 from last year in different orders, right? If there's anybody to break into the top 6, who would you say is the most likely? And is it as
to
simple
break
as saying,
into the top 6?
Because we've all gone with the same 6 teams, just in different orders.
There'll be no one. Like,
maybe Spurs. I think
well,
Europa
Spurs
League might stop Everton, or do they even have it?
yeah,
They finished 5th.
well,
So that might stop them. Europa League does affect league things.
the travel is much greater.
Spurs, who Spurs signed?
They haven't really signed anyone.
Spurs team is still a mess. Maybe he'll get it going.
No, I think you give Pochettino the end of the season coming. I think Spurs will be very good from like maybe February, March onwards, especially if they might buy 1 or 2 more in January. I think Spurs won't have enough, but I think they're
just
top
think
6.
every team in the top 6 has improved, bar Man City.
Okay.
So that's what I think.
So that's our Premier League recap, and next week's just going to be great. Or Premier League preview, sorry. Next week is going to just be great to do our first Premier League recap. Okay,
Every
Dan.
team will lose except for City or something.
Okay, Dan. League of Ireland. Let's talk about it. Myself and Dan, I got a text on Friday night saying, do you want to come to Rovers? This wasn't the first time I've got the text, but it's the first time I've got the text about that since we started this podcast. So I said, I better do some on-the-site reporting.
So yeah, I want your actual honest opinion of what you thought of everything. I want to have the facilities at Tala, the standard of play, the atmosphere. I just, honestly, like, what did you think it was a whole of the League of Ireland?
Well, I thought the facilities were great. I was sad to see that the attendance, I knew that there was obviously going to be a boost because of the new manager, and you told me that it was slightly better attended than a lot of home games recently.
Yes.
However, I thought that maybe it's just me being naive, maybe it's just me being somebody who doesn't really know much about the or hadn't attended a game before, but it wasn't quite the boost that I was expecting. I would have liked to have seen more people there.
Yeah, no, I will agree with that. Like, see, once they went to Tala, though, there's that kind of there's a kind of a bit of a bandwagon going on there as well, because Rovers are here, new stadium, let's go, and they're winning.
You also did very well, though.
Well, they did do very well, but like, I'd never turn my back on a club. Like, I think I'm the clearly wouldn't, but I think give it time, and like, the crowds will be back. But it was just, people are still kind of upset with the board, which I think is just absolutely stupid.
Sure.
Because in 2004 or 5, like, they were pretty much bust. They were gone. They stepped in, they saved them, and then 4 years later they've got their own stadium after 20 odd years in the wilderness, playing Europa League, playing Real Madrid, playing Juventus. I think people should be careful what they wish for in terms of sacking the board. And I think that's why there's still a few idiots like that. But they've got their manager now, and they've given him a 2.5 year contract in Pat Fennon.
Yeah.
And if they have to let that contract see out.
I would agree. Now, it's very hard for me to talk
And
about
by the way, they Rovers won 2-0, by the way, in case no one...
Yes. I'll have a very hard time saying what the atmosphere is like compared to a previous match, because obviously I hadn't gone to any. But clearly there was a bit of a buzz about the new manager.
That was the loudest it's probably been all year.
Okay, so the first half was very, very scrappy. Rovers looked afraid to play.
They were terrified, yeah.
Now, I don't think that that's indicative of the new manager, because
no, it's been instilled by the old... He was appointed on the Wednesday morning.
So there you go. You only had perhaps two sessions to really even implement any.
So what he was there was a fairness and a negativity installed by the old manager. Now, he just wasn't a good tactician or anything. So he he didn't mean to, obviously mean to insult it, but that's just why it kind of went on, and the negativity was put down from the fans then to the players, and they were afraid to play. But then the second half, you could see Rovers came with a bit of intensity and go, let's just go with them.
They did. It has to be said that the Derry had like a buckload of chances in the first half. They were unlucky to score.
They could have been 2 up.
They at least. Rovers came out in the second half, and it was the first time that I started to see like them really string a few passes together. Both goals were
identical.
Very, very identical. It was kind
and
of like
they assisted each other as well.
Yeah, hit back across the front line of the box to a header. The front line of the goal made to a header, and the crowd were incredible when they scored. It was a great atmosphere. It was fantastic. Derry's number 7. He was the star of the show, really, from either team.
Barry McNamee.
Yeah, like he almost never put a foot wrong. His passing, like he was just one of those guys that you watch, and he has a picture in his head, and he executes it, as if he's had minutes to think about where the ball's going to.
Yeah, he's a useful player for Derry. Derry have some good players, but they were unlucky. Like the 2-0 wasn't a proper scoreline really for the game, but it was for Rovers though. I think it was more about just getting the win than the performance, because by winning, they've got fans on side again. Well, not, you know what I mean. Like it's just a massive confidence booster, and they go, "Oh, we played shit, but we still won 2-0. We couldn't do that under the last manager. We would have lost that game 1-0."
Exactly.
So I think that's what they need. No, good to see Rovers coming back anyway, and Derry again, really impressive. They've under Peter Hutton, they've been transformed since Roddy left, and you could clearly see. Like, remember, I've been saying this for the last few weeks that Derry are playing much better.
Yeah,
and like you could see firsthand, like they were fluid. Like Shane McLeany was McLeany was very good in midfield, and there was the 2 lads up front, Duffy and Patterson, were always like really dangerous as well.
Yeah, definitely, especially with the kind of what I perceived to be a lack of pace at the back of Rovers' defence. It was definitely one of those things where it seemed to be written in the stars. New manager, and against a team that were clearly probably overall better by quite a margin, they still got the result. And
but you could see when the second goal went in, there was about 20 minutes to go. Rovers the game just fizzled out. Like,
yeah, it really did. It's like Derry completely called it a day at that stage.
They did. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was one of those games though. Like I remember, I was like, I'm so excited about tonight.
Yeah,
and I was like, we're definitely going to win.
Well,
I think everyone kind of felt that in the ground.
It was definitely the perfect way to start a new era, and I'm looking forward to going to a few more of these, including the EA, Konami, Capcom, Sega, Nintendo cup final.
Yes.
So Cork versus St. Patrick. Cork winning 1-0 with a Colin Healy goal.
Incredible strike.
Tell us about it.
Balls, I think it was a corner in, ball bobbling around. Overhead kick by Colin Healy, the former Irish international. He got about maybe a dozen caps for Ireland. And great goal. And Cork, with Dundalk drawing at Drogheda, have closed the gap. They've got 2 more points on Dundalk now. So I think it is between those two, because it's a massive win, because Pats and Rovers now are on equal points in 43 in the league, while Cork now have 6 points on both, while Dundalk are 10 points ahead.
Yeah, there's some gaps opening up, alright. Poor Athlone Town don't seem to be
let's get to that.
Getting out of that.
The run is over. The streak is over.
The streak, it was the 1 and the 20 and 1,
Sligo beat Athlone City. Athlone Town. They become a city in our hearts.
Yes.
They were definitely punching above their weight.
Becoming a continent in John's heart, I think.
3-1.
I'll follow them anywhere.
Then Macmillan got 2 and Russell, but I think Athlone just kind of it was a tough game for them going to Sligo, and I think they just ran out of steam. They're playing well. And Limerick, another good win for them. That's a lot of points on the board they've had in the last few games now. They beat Bray 4-1, and Gaffney, who scored against Rovers, the big centre forward, he got a hat trick. So that leaves Bray in a bit of bother at the bottom, because their goal difference now is getting worse, kind of by every few games now. They just can't stop conceding goals. So it could come down to it. Their goal difference is minus 30, while Athlone is only minus 18. So I know it's 12 goals and they're 6 points behind, but if Athlone can win 1 or 2 more games, it could come down to it. Like, that could be an extra point for them. Limerick are probably just about out of it now, I'd say, because they've got a few good wins now under Damien Richardson.
Sure.
So Lee Lynch as well, he grabbed his first goal for Limerick after his move from Pats. So Bray got a last minute consolation there. UCD didn't really do themselves any favours against Bowes. Bowes apparently were very unlucky not to win that match. But Bowes again, they're kind of just a team there in mid-table. They're not going to get relegated. They're not going to threaten for Europe. So Drogheda are kind of climbing, Limerick are climbing, Bowes should be okay. It's really between the bottom three to go down. In UCD, Bray and Athlone, and UCD always manage to stay up. They're there every year, and they did a Wigan Athletic there a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
They just know how to stay up.
Any matches coming up this weekend that you're looking forward to?
Well, there's the big game in the Midlands.
Is that right?
There's a massive game in the Midlands.
John, tell us about the massive game in the Midlands.
Do I know what the massive game in the Midlands is, do
You should know.
Clearly.
Who do you support, and who do I support?
Is that this week?
It's this week.
Oh, well.
Are we going to Athlone?
I can't pick out a reason why not.
What, it's
Don't
on
know why I
Saturday,
can't
is
pick
it?
it.
Friday, I think.
Oh, what time?
8, 7:45.
You'll never make it that long, lads, will you?
I'm off work at 5.
If any of the fans,
Oh, no, I'm not working at all Friday. There you go.
it's an all-day thing.
But
Let
I'm
me
working,
get
I'm working
Longtown.
Saturday though, so I can't be getting pissed.
Are you in work on Friday there, John?
I am not.
Lads.
Live podcast. So I'm excited.
Yeah, we could do the podcast from the car.
Who's driving?
We just have to...
we have John drive.
There you go.
We'll never get there in time. Could be Friday week. when we do it.
Stall the car.
Well,
Stall the
we're
car.
not promising a live podcast,
Yeah.
nor are we promising that.
Well, yeah. So that'll be interesting anyway, and maybe Athlone can get a big win for John. We don't know. So
That'd be fantastic.
So yeah, it's becoming very tight at the bottom, and you can kind of actually see like a difference now. Like there's kind of leagues, and you're breaking into leagues. So you see the top two are kind of running away with it. Then it's the two South Dublin teams scrapping it for third. Derry and Sligo, Sligo and Derry then are next. They're kind of breaking off, and then it'll be Limerick, Bowes, and Drogheda, kind of in mid-table mediocrity. And the three lads at the bottom used to be Bray and Athlone. So it's going to be a tense final. What is it? 11 games, or whatever it is. So it'll be
11 games in phase 3.
10 games.
10 games from phase 3.
That's correct.
Okay, yeah, a little note here, Dan, for the show today that on this day in 1958, Puskás joined Real Madrid. He was incredible for them.
He was player of the year. He won the European Cup. He won 5 La Ligas in a row. He was top scorer, I think, at one of the World Cups as well. He was, obviously, I've never seen him play, but I heard he was very good. So
Yeah.
I'm going to give a shout to Puskás on this.
I would honestly say, if we're going to do this on the day segment, can we get something more recent? Like
That was the only thing.
Even
It was the only thing I could find.
Even
Well, no, I could have put
1998
Leeds drew this day last year to Leicester City 0-0.
I'm sure something happened. Like
Nothing happened in that
Ferguson
game. Nothing
sneezed
happened in
and
that
it-
game.
No, we're not talking about that game. We're just talking about the date. Is there anything more current than Puskás?
Leeds were deducted 15
We stop
points.
talking about... I mean, in the world of football, is there not something more recent than...
I don't think ever.
93, Gary Speed scored a goal. Did he play for you in 93?
Gary Speed, 93, he did.
Yes. All right, spoof of the week. Do
Lavezzi.
we have any nominations first? Obviously, Lavezzi. I'm just going with Lavezzi myself.
Torres after that ridiculous flick.
Torres is a nomination. The Derry City goalkeeper.
That's the one I want to pick. It was actually when the whole stadium were laughing at him.
It was an eruption of
Rovers.
fucking
What did he do?
Rovers were 2-0 up, right? And the game was dead. And it was about the 3rd minute of stoppage time. Rovers are 2-0 up, and the Derry have a corner. Jared Doherty, the goalkeeper, comes up and tries to score. It's like, what are you trying? Like,
It was just bizarre. I've never seen anything like
He's
it.
hero
At that stage in the match.
of the weekend boy book there.
so I think nearly Jared Doherty should get it.
Okay,
it was incredible. Like, I've never seen a goalkeeper trying to score when you're 2-0 down.
I'm going to
With 30
split it
seconds
between Lavezzi and Doherty because obviously I witnessed this.
It was
and
very funny.
I think it deserves a shout out.
It was very good.
What about, you would go with Lavezzi, John?
Yes, I can't see why not.
Okay, John, do you have any suggestions or nominations for our hero of this week?
I was gonna go with Closer since you retired today. You
Yeah.
can't really go against, but I was gonna honourable mention for Howard Webb, who retired from refereeing.
That's true. Yeah, that did only happen. That happened the day after we recorded the last podcast.
I thought he was great.
I thought he was a fantastic referee. There was a very interesting chart that came out with the points per game of matches, or points per team for games he'd refereed and stuff like that. And when you look at that, that favoritism towards United and stuff kind of is put a bit more into perspective, you know?
No, it's obviously nonsense. Like,
Yeah, of
but it's
course.
just
Yeah, well, like all decisions like do base themselves out over the season, really. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
to be fair.
Definitely, I would go with Close as well.
Yeah, I think close.
although Zalton did donate
Yes,
some money
this,
to
we
a
found that today. Yeah, very
disabled
good.
football team who couldn't afford to go to the
Ibra.
disabled World
Ibra,
Cup.
yeah. There was some. Yeah, it was disabled
I'm sure it's not called
wheelchair
disabled
football
Yeah.
or something. They had some team and they didn't have enough money to go to the World Cup or something, and he just gave like 300 grand or something.
For the special, there's like a special World Cup kind
Yeah,
of thing, and they weren't going to be able to go.
If they didn't have the funds or something, or they didn't have no grants or something, and he just goes, "Yeah, there you go."
That's awesome. Is it bad of me that as much as like that's a great thing, I kind of feel it's, you know, a rite of passage of somebody within the sport who earns that much money, that it's kind of stuff that should happen.
Of course it should. Well, like Ronaldo, of course, he did his good deed there over the summer.
It's unfortunate that these teams have to, that people have to rely on. Well, now I know Ronaldo's one's a little bit different, but just Zlatan's one is obviously within some sort of football governing body, right? And it's kind of sad that it has to be a player, you know. But
Well,
either
to be
way,
honest, that they're rolling in the money. Like,
I'd also put a spook for the week, if I can go back to that. The Norwich fan who was kicked out for racist abuse that's been dealt into. On a serious note,
what did he do?
What?
he was kicked out of the Norwich fan for giving racist abuse.
Oh, a hero of the week, actually, another one could be Ian Holloway.
Oh God, what did
After
he do?
after the Leeds game.
What did he do?
We might need to bleep some of this out.
Nah, go.
Jimmy Savile he's from Leeds.
Right.
The Millwall fans were singing a song about him,
I was wrong.
and they were kind of like, Jimmy Savile, who he wants,
Can we just bleep
Okay.
this all out?
and they were singing that for large periods of the game, and Holloway at his press conference lashed into the Millwall fans for about 5-10 minutes, saying how disgusting it was and how they're never to say that when I manage this club and all this, and he gave absolute crap to them.
I can see, first of all, Ian Holloway is one of my favourite people
Yes,
on the
he's
planet.
great.
But I will say that this is such a weird pairing, him and Millwall in general. I can see this not being the only incident he has with the fans, because Millwall fans are, I don't want to use the term passionate, because I think that's being too nice to them at times.
They're sewer
But
rats.
there's a vocal minority of Millwall fans that, let's just say, uphold the reputation. And
A lot of them would, yes.
Yeah, and so this is... It's going to be interesting, because Ian Holloway just doesn't take shit, and he says exactly what's on his mind.
He was I heard I got a link on Twitter there, and it's like, oh, a really, really interesting post match conference, and like, never heard anything like it. Like, he barely even talked about the team. He just went straight into the fans. He said, like, it's disgusting. It's like, this should be tackled and all. He's calling the FA to do something and all. So
That's excellent.
yeah, I think
Very good.
that's a very good honourable mention there for
Yeah,
Player of the Week, I think.
definitely. Okay, so there you go, guys. We've got a ton of spoofers / heroes. You know, who was yours? So on a passing note, it's been great, guys. But I am announcing my retirement from this week's podcast. I'll be back next week,
Oh yeah.
but I am going to close up shop now, because I
Okay.
don't think we have anything else to talk about. Any final words, John?
I'm not allowed to say closing words anymore, so...
Follow us on Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter. Well,
Stephen Gerrard now is endorsing the product as well.
Yeah. Do you know what? Dan,
At In the Know Soccer Show.
give the website and Twitter and all that shit.
So it's at In the Know Soccer Show. That's the Twitter. Okay, and
We answer questions.
we're uploading to YouTube every week. They'll be there all the time, and we're uploading weekly to SoundCloud as well. Okay,
So you can save some of the battery on your phones. and
Yeah. So
exactly. So download the app for SoundCloud, and it's very handy because then it'll actually play in the background while you can do other things on your phone.
Yeah, which is the best.
Which is
I
good.
always listen to
Yeah,
podcasts if I'm playing like Pro Evo or whatever, and if you're cleaning the house, it's just
Yeah.
great to have it on the background. Dan, what's the name of the website?
Uh,
And is it live yet?
no.
Okay,
It's-
well,
it's-
for the
it's
moment,
horrendous at
if
the
you want to
moment.
listen to any archive shows, you can go to YouTube. The channel name is
It's under my name.
Dan O'Carroll.
That's correct.
Okay, and we'll put that link up as well underneath the SoundCloud one. SoundCloud will have the most recent show, and,
And
if
there's a glorious picture of Wenger on the slide.
there is indeed. And if you don't get a chance to catch the most current show, you can always go to the archives on YouTube.
Yes.
So again, please do follow us on Twitter. We're going to keep the show free. for the foreseeable future, and we're just really happy to be able to give such tremendous insight to Liverpool, Shamrock Rovers and Leeds, and then those other teams that
And
happen
then
to play
Leeds
football.
again.
All right, well, listen, guys, it's been a blast. We'll be back next week with our first ever Premier League review on the show. That's going to be tremendously exciting. We're probably not going to have any live League of Ireland recaps, but we're going to go over all that stuff. We'll be talking again about the championships. We're closing in towards the end of the transfer window, so hopefully we'll have some hot topics to discuss.
And we'll also find out what Leeds did this day next week.
Sack their manager.
Well, listen, there is a surprise next week, and it is kind of on that team about Hawk Day. I'll say no more. So tune in for that, guys, and we will talk to you again same time next week.
Do you remember Agatha's being in such an Elvis song? I've heard a rumor from ground control. Oh no, don't say it's true. They got a message from the action man. I'm happy, hope you're happy too. I've loved all I've needed love, saw the details fall away. The shrieking of nothing is killing, just pictures of chap girls in synthesis. And I ain't got no money and I ain't got no hands. But I'm hoping to kick because glad it is glowing.
Beep.